Welcome back. It's another makeup video. It's your girl Janelle Veronica. If you are new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer or a returning subscriber, welcome back. Welcome back. The look for today is a nice classic red lip with a very simple, this is what I call it. This is like a champagne eye. The eye balances out the lipstick, but for me, the focus today was on the red lip. I'm going to try to keep my intro as short as possible. That's just my vibe. So I'm just going to skip ahead. I'll be barefaced. I'm ready to put some makeup on. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you are having a fantastic day and that you are doing okay. I've already introed the video, so you know that we're going for a classic red lip today. I'm going to start by going in with some skin prep. Now, I've been loving the Advanced Clinicals Collagen and Rose Water Plump and Glow Facial Mist. I use this to just rehydrate the skin. Now, while that absorbs into the skin, I go in with my eye cream. This is the Beauty Formula's Restoring Eye Cream. This one has coenzyme Q10 and it's supposed to smooth and refine. This is just going to ensure that your concealer under your eye doesn't look dry and cakey. You know, we always want to have that flawless under eye. So make sure that you go in and you prep your under eye for a perfect concealer, a flawless finish. All right, next step for the final step in my skin prep is my moisturizer. I love the CeraVe AM Facial Moisturizer. It has SPF 30, and it wears nicely on the makeup. It doesn't break through the makeup, and it's perfect. I absolutely love it. It's thin enough, but as I said, you have SPF in there to protect your skin. Now it's time for primer. I'm going to go with a mattifying primer. Today, I'm going to go with my Fenty Hydrating Primer. That's a combo that I absolutely love. The mattifying, this is by Milk, the Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer, along with the Fenty Hydrating, match made in heaven. So perfect. So let me just go in and prime. I don't see a lot of people using this Milk Primer, the Pore Eclipse Mattifying, but it is so good. It mattifies, but it also fills the pores so that your makeup application is really, really smooth. And I really, really like it. Now I'm just going in with that Fenty foundation. I'm using it in the shade 440. And I'm going in on my Morphe M439 foundation blending brush. I'm just going to punch that into the skin. I always pump out too much of that foundation. Honestly, this is like 2 pumps of foundation. For some reason, I always pump 4. I always overestimate how much foundation I'm going to use. I'm just going to go over that with a sponge, just to pick up any excess product that we might have on your face so that the makeup doesn't look cakey. Nice. I'm going to go in with some liquid blush now. And this is the Palladio Liquid Blush in the shade Deep Fuchsia. Now, for concealer today, I'm going in with the Nicka K Makeup Perfection Multi-Use Concealer. I go in with shade number 10. You can pick it up from the Nicka K website, or you can pick it up from your beauty supply store. I normally get them from like my pharmacy/beauty supply store, but you can get them online as well. You can also get it on Amazon, and it's a really good full coverage concealer. Now to blend that out, I'm going to go with my Real Techniques 402 brush, starting at my chin, and we always go in nice patting motions. Make sure to blend around the edges nicely. For the under eye, I start around the edges on the outside. I think this helps to transition that concealer into the blush nicely. There isn't too much product and it's not overwhelming. It blends seamlessly. So I blend around the edges first. And once that's blended, then I tackle directly under the eye. Alright, so I'm not done blending under the eye. There's still a little bit too much product, so I'll go in with a sponge. But I'm just going to blend out my nose contour. This is a Nicka K concealer brush. It's more precise, it's smaller. And you know that our nose bridge is a very small area, so you want to be more detailed and something that's going to keep the product exactly where you want it to be. So nice. I'm just going to go in now with a sponge, a clean sponge, under the eye. And as you can see, I alternate between brushes and sponges. I think there is room for both of them. Before I used to only be a brush girl, but I realized I started off being a sponge girl. Then I graduated to being a brush girl, but then I ultimately realized that for me, I get best application when I use both sponges and brushes. I'm going to go in with my Huda, the Easy Bake powder in banana bread. So I'm just going to dip into that powder and I'm just going to massage it into the back of my hand so that I have a nice thin layer. And go in and set. I forgot to contour my nose, so I am going to contour my nose. As soon as I'm done setting this down, I am going to go in and contour my nose. This combination of that, look at it. The combination of this Nicka K concealer and this Huda Beauty, an inexpensive concealer with like a mid-range setting powder, gives such a flawless under eye. And you know the deal, we set down all of the places that we went in with the concealer. Now to contour my nose, I'm going in with the Fenty Matte Stick in Espresso. And underneath, I normally do that step when I am doing my liquids, but as I said, I forgot today, so we have to improvise because I love a nose contour. Absolutely love it. And I love this Fenty stick because it blends out so easily. This is in the shade Espresso. And just gently pat over the nose. I'm also going to bake my under eye because I only went in with one thin layer. Perfecto. I'm going to set the rest of my face Fenty powder foundation in the shade 450. I'm thinking I'm going to do a cute eye look today. Something that is going to pair nicely with a red lip. Might be something a little bronzy or maybe silver, like with like a jewel tone on the lid. It's time for bronzer and I'm going in. If you know me, to know me is to know that I'm going to go in with my NARS Laguna in the shade 07. I'm going to just quickly swap to my Juvia's Place bronzer. And I'm going to go, this is the dark kit. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here. And use that to set the nose contour down. I like the undertone of this one for my nose. Whereas I use the NARS for the rest of my face because I find it has a little bit of a more reddish undertone. And I love a red undertone for bronzing. I want something a little bit more closer to the complexion, a little bit more neutral for the nose. I'm also going to just gently bake down the bridge of the nose. Nice complexion is looking complexion is looking good. Alright guys, so I filled in my brows quickly, but I'm going to go through the way how I clean up under my brows and how I prep my lids for eyeshadow. So the same concealer we use under the eye, I normally just go in, place a little bit under the arc of my brow. Then I go in with a flat brush and use that to clean up. Then I just drag it downwards. Going back in with the concealer now. Just going to place a little bit on the lid. And we're just going to blend that in. Blend the under eye as well. Under the brow, sorry. And as you can see, this just blanks the lid out. Makes it one uniform color for when you go in with your shadows. I'm going to go into the same Huda Beauty powder that we used to set the concealer. I'm going to set under the brow. Now we're also going to set the lid. But this is just the perfect base. This is how I prep my eyes for when I am going in with eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go into my Juvia's Place, the coffee shop, eyeshadow palette today. And I'm thinking I'm mainly going to use like this rose. So this shimmer, I'm thinking this shimmer would look nice with a red lip. This brown as a transition and this a little bit in the crease. So these three shades here. So I'm going to start by going into the transition shade on a Palladio blending brush. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but it's a nice subtle brown. Next, I'm going to switch now to a Morphe M434 blending brush and go into that dark brown that I showed you. Just a little bit. And we're going to really focus that in the crease. So a little lower down into that crease socket on the outer V as well. And this is just going to give the eye a little bit of depth and dimension. Alright, and we're now really going to blend in circular motions to make sure that that crease color is nicely diffused. It doesn't look too heavy and it's nicely blended. And I'm going to go in with that champagne color that I showed you on the lid. I want it to just give like a little glimmer, but nothing too heavy. Because I want the focus to be on the lips. But we're just making sure we have something on the eye to balance the look out. Alright, that's nice. We're going to go into that same dark brown that we used on the crease. And I'm just going to sweep it along the lower lash line. This always makes my eye water. I wear glasses, so my eyes are very sensitive. Alright, nice. That's nice and smoked out. That's it for the eyes. I'm going to put on some mascara and lash glue. This is the Maybelline Sky High, one of my favorites. For lash glue, I use the Duo, the one with the green writing. Now while that lash glue dries, let me just show you the lashes that I'm using. I'm going in with a 3/4 lash today. This is the Eyeler London 3/4 lash. I just want something very subtle so that you can still see a little bit of the shimmer on the lid and the lashes are not too overpowering. Alright, so the lashes are on, so I'm just going to press. I normally just press my bake-in. This helps to maintain brightness. Now for blush, I'm going to go in with my Revlon blush. This is the Revlon Powder Blush in the shade Very Berry. As you can see, I've hit pan. I absolutely love this blush. And I'm really going to bring it on the outer edge of the eye, really up under the eye. Now I'm going to go in with, but let me just set my face first. And to set and to melt all of those powders, I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Just wanted to intensify this area just a little bit. I think a little bit of it got lost while I was putting my lashes on. Now I'm going to go in with a finishing powder. Make sure that you invest in a finishing powder. This one is by Black Opal and it's affordable and it's a really, really good finishing powder. I use it in the shade 600 Dark. And as you can see, if you look at my face right now, and I'm just being completely real, everything does not look well blended. The blush looks like it still needs a little bit more setting, for example, and it's not as flawless as I would like. So I go in with that finishing powder on a brush, shake the excess off, and really just pass it all over the face. And if you can see the difference, this side looks a lot more flawless and well blended. Now for the lips, I'm going to line my lips with a plum lip liner. This is so itty bitty, but this is the MAC lip liner in the shade Night Moth. It's a nice deep plum, so I'm choosing plum over going in with like a dark brown liner. And I'm just going to fill in the corners of the lips. For lips and for my red lip, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning up. I think that looks nice. I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder in the shade 334 Warm Sand under my eyes. Then I'm going in with the Morphe M554 Tapered Paddle Brush. This is just going to brighten that under eye a little bit. You can see the difference between this eye and this eye. It's very subtle, but I prefer the way how this eye looks. Alright guys, and this is the final makeup look. The dogs have started barking. I absolutely love the lip. It's nice, cute, simple. The lipstick that I went in with is a Maybelline, so it's affordable. You don't always have to break the bank to get a makeup look or to get like the perfect red lip. I'm not going to put any gloss on. I'm going to leave it nice and matte. I think the complexion looks nice and the eyes complement the lips. What you can do today is drop a comment and let me know what's your favorite red lipstick. What is your go-to red lipstick when you are, when you want to take your makeup up a notch? So I'm going to look out for those comments. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a very relaxing time. Make sure you save this video if you want to recreate the look. And I will see you. No. Before I get there, I always wish you all a fantastic day. Make sure that you have a fabulous week wherever you are in the world. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.